Hey guys, Marauder here with my friend Sandalphan, and I thought we would just talk about a movie we got back from recently, that movie being Scream 4. So, thought we'd kind of talk about our thoughts on the movie and give you a general overview. By the way, spoilers, potentially, I don't know, but I just want to say that right now, so if you want to see it, stop watching right now, because we're going to be talking about pretty much everything that we thought was shitty, or well done, or whatever, and I don't want this to ruin the movie for you if you have any interest in seeing it. Anyway, with that being said, so, what'd you think?
Okay, regardless of whatever comes of this video, I do not regret seeing it. I had a good time watching it, I had fun, $8 well spent.
Yeah, I agree. It was fun, especially with people laughing in the theater. That's
Yeah, I was glad to see we weren't the only ones tearing this movie to pieces.
Okay, anyway, plot-wise, movie picks up after Scream 3, and it's taken a little bit of a different route. You'll know the character names better than I have, because it's been like 10 years since I've seen them, but the cop guy is still the cop guy, but he's like the head honcho.
Yeah, Dewey's the sheriff now of Westboro. Westboro, right?
He's married to Courtney Cox's character.
Gail Weathers.
Yep, the author.
Dewey and Gail are married now. And she's not doing a whole lot with her time.
No, actually that was one joke I made, but...
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So, anyway, what was the name of the...
Sidney Prescott.
Sidney Prescott, yeah. So she writes this book about her experiences, because apparently they based a bunch of movies off her. They're kind of like the Saw movies, or like a really shitty version of the Scream movies in Scream. It's kind of funny. The opening is actually just a movie within a movie within a movie within a movie, where people just get stabbed randomly.
The opening is funny and all, but I think it goes on for a little too long.
I thought so too. But it did set up the mood.
Yeah.
You know, scary but not too serious.
Yeah.
Which, anyway, so that, I thought the opening was okay. Anyway, plot-wise, so, obviously it's the anniversary of the murders, and they tell you this by hanging giant ghost face. Apparently the thing has a name. I was not aware they called it Ghostface in the other movies, but then again, like I said, it's been a while.
I think that was the name of the costume before the Scream movies, and then they just started calling it the Ghostface Killer.
Okay.
Like the rapper.
That would make sense. Yeah, so anyway... they end up going and hanging these things all over town, which I don't really know why, because those masks are bigger than a normal person's mask, so why would you buy those and where would you get those? But whatever, there's more problems in this movie than that. Anyway, so the movie starts that obviously someone goes around killing people in the anniversary of this murder, and it's the whole basic setup, and the murders get more and more... I wouldn't say any of them were all that terrible, like in terms of like them running up the stairs instead of trying to run out of the house.
Yeah, no, they were set up well enough. They just kind of tame now for an R rating, especially.
Not really, though. The one where the girl gets killed in her bedroom and then they show like her intestines like falling out of her stomach.
Yeah, that part was pretty.
That was a little over the top.
That was a little graphic, but that was about the only time it really gets really graphic. I mean, Drew Barrymore got hung up in a tree by her own intestines at the start of Scream 1.
Yeah. Well, but, like, the entire movie kind of just, there's just stabbing and some blood, and you're like, okay, and then all of a sudden, like, they pan over in this one after the murder, and she's just got her intestines hanging out on the bed, and you're just like, wow, I was not expecting that at this point.
Right.
But, no, it was, you know, I think the scares were it's all pretty much jump scares, and, you know.
Oh, I wouldn't call them jump scares, but I think they build them up better than that.
The atmosphere was right.
Yeah.
I will say that. But every scare was like, he's on the hood of the car. He's behind the door. I guess, but that's the whole thing with these movies.
But I suppose if that's your definition of a jump scare, then that's almost all horror movies are jump scare movies.
Not necessarily.
Kind of?
The Voices?
Oh. What, is that a movie?
It's a Korean horror movie.
I've never seen it.
Oh, you should. It's pretty good.
Oh, alright.
Anyway, so... some of the things we did like, or like that I liked. I did like the fact that they were kind of self-aware that they were a shitty horror movie while going through the motions.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's every Scream movie. But in this one, they kind of go back to their roots a little bit with that, and it's funny.
They talk about the rules.
Yeah,
and how the rules are changing, and
the rules of a reboot.
Yeah.
Which is what this is, kind of.
Yeah.
It's a reboot, remake, sequel.
Again.
Yeah.
Movie. So, that was kind of funny. The only death that I thought was stupid, and everyone in the theater agreed, apparently, was the promotionalist or the promoter for...
the publicist. Sydney's
right.
publicist for her book came with her on her little book tour, which is going through Westboro.
Why she would start there and not, like, in Los Angeles, I don't know.
Well, no, because they said a couple times that this was the end of the book tour.
Oh, okay.
But then she tried to keep it going onto, like, actual television shows.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right, okay. Again, the plot really is not important.
No, I don't think so.
It's really just kind of a paper thin. But it's just to set up the murders.
Yeah.
But anyway, so she goes to her car in this dark, foreboding parking garage. Which, by the way, one thing they did do I loved was they didn't do that shit where, like, they don't get any cell phone reception.
Oh, no, everyone had a signal everywhere.
You know? So at least they threw that one out the window.
Yeah.
That always annoys me.
No, they have this one kid in the movie. It's Stephen Stills from Scott Pilgrim. He's, like, got this little camera headset thing on him at all times, constantly uploading a video diary to his own personal blog all the time. It's like, you know that old abandoned house, you know that old abandoned farm on Hudson Drive?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's got 4G mobile.
Well, I don't know if it was like setting up Wi-Fi or what. Like, everything just happened to just work for him all the time.
Yeah.
And the battery never ran out.
Well,
you never saw him charge it.
No, I think the only time the phones didn't work is at the end when they actually go and mention someone ripped out the landline.
Oh, yeah.
It's like, and destroyed the router. How did destroying the router disable cell phone signals? Never really explained. But
what does the router have to do with cell phone signals? Like, that's only if you wanted to, like, Twitter somebody or Facebook somebody. Like, I'm being murdered by a ghost face killer.
I don't know. They all have iPhones and shit.
I guess.
All these teenagers have iPhones and shit.
There was that one scene in the classroom when everybody's phone goes off and the teacher's like, "Oh no, I gotta turn those off." I'm like,
it's
yeah,
like,
right,
are you fucking kidding me?
Are we really gonna go through this? Yeah. Anyway, the murder of the publicist. So
yeah,
she's in her car and she gets the phone call from the killer and he's like, "I'm gonna kill you," and she's like, "Oh shit." So she tries to start.
I'm gonna kill you.
Right, whatever. So she tries to start the car and the car doesn't start, and so obviously he jumps on the hood of the car and scares her, and then it's like, okay. And what does she do after that? She gets out of the car. At which point everybody in the theater was like laughing their asses off.
Why?
Yeah, they're all like, "Oh, really?"
Yeah, it's like, I'm pretty sure I heard one guy scream, "You dumb bitch!"
Yeah, no, I heard that too. And even the black people in front of him were like, "Oh no, he's gonna go and get him." So then, of course, she dies.
Yeah, of course.
And then,
it's actually very simple the way they did it. I mean, she tries to open the door. Door handle breaks off, as of course it must.
Right.
This is the Final Destination universe, apparently.
There's no way to get out of the parking garage once you get in it, because obviously all the doors immediately get locked by this one guy.
Building inspector? What's that? Literally, door handle just pops right out.
Yeah, she's like, "Oh, shing! Oh no! I have a door handle now."
How did she even get in there if it was that easy?
She took the elevator.
Oh, did she?
Yeah.
Oh, but then the guy just runs up and stabs her. It's really quick and it's really simple.
Then he throws her off the building.
And then he throws her off the building.
Onto the car in front of all the police, and the police are like, "Oh, shit!"
Yeah.
I thought that was pretty good.
Yeah.
Oh, no!
The killer in this movie, one thing I liked, he pulls off some crazy ninja shit at points. I swear, the way he just vanishes at points, inexplicably, I thought the killer was Hugo Weaving from V for Vendetta for a while.
Yeah.
Literally, he gets drop-kicked in the face by Sidney Prescott at one point, and he's on the ground. Police are there within 5 seconds, and he's gone. And they're looking in his direction, and he's gone.
Yeah, he's like in a hallway. The door is here. Here's the hallway. He's laying in the hallway, and they just come through the door, and he's gone.
It's like, where is he?
Oh no! And I was like, he's not Batman. I wouldn't take that shit from anyone but Batman.
Come on, I know. Yeah.
But yeah, anyway. Other things I liked.
I didn't hate anyone in this movie.
No, I didn't.
None of the characters really pissed me off, and I wasn't glad when anybody died, which I think is a good mark in a horror movie. You don't want the characters to die.
Well, but see, I didn't I didn't get to know any of them really.
Yeah, that was a problem I was going to bring up, and when we bring up the dislikes. Yeah.
But yeah, you don't hate anybody. You're just kind of like, whatever. None of them were that annoying. Let's see, other things I liked. That's pretty much it. The murders were simple.
Yeah.
And effective, I thought.
It's goofy, but no goofier than any of the other Scream movies so far.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's not that bad in terms of goofiness. I thought it found a good balance, I suppose. Anyway, things we didn't like.
The cast is too big.
Yeah, too many characters.
In the original Scream, there were about 6 main characters, maybe. Yeah. Sydney, her friend, her boyfriend,
the killer,
her friend's boyfriend, and Jamie Kennedy, and Gale, and Dewey. All right, 7 main characters, and they all get their various moments. This movie has like
ADD.
About
they were jumping from scene to scene. They're like,
yeah.
Now we're at the farmhouse. Now we're back at Kirby's house. Now we're over here. Now
you can't keep a whodunit going on when there's this many characters you're trying to involve in a whodunit.
Yeah.
I mean, let's see. It's Kirby, Jill.
Yeah, Jill, Kirby.
Jill, her friend Kirby, her friend Olivia.
Gale.
Gale, the 2 guys from the cinema club. Sydney, I guess.
Her neighbor.
Her neighbor?
Yeah, remember? And she got killed right next door.
Well, that was her aunt, I think.
No. The mother.
Yeah.
The mother died, too.
Well, because she was cousins with that girl, Jill.
Oh, was it? That's what that was?
Yeah.
Okay, whatever.
All right,
I was paying attention, but I was laughing more than I was trying to figure things out.
The deputy, the publicist.
Both of the cops.
Both cops.
Because there were 3 cops. Because there was a girl cop, too.
That's the deputy.
Oh, okay, whatever.
Yeah, at least 13 characters they're trying to involve, and which of them did it? And no one can get enough screen time or development when you're trying to involve that many characters and keep it ambiguous.
Yeah, I pretty much picked out the murderer early.
You did?
Yeah.
I didn't see that one coming. I
picked out, I was wrong, but I was just like, that's it.
Oh.
And then she died, and I was like, oh, apparently that wasn't it. But I'm just saying, like, you didn't have any clue, because you didn't know anything. The movie didn't tell you anything.
Actually, it makes sense, because she's honestly one of the least developed characters of these not very well-developed characters to start with.
Mm.
I picked out one of the killers, because there's always more than one killer in a Scream movie. I picked out one of the characters as a joke, and I wasn't serious, but then it turned out he was one of them.
Yeah. And he did it, like, he kills Kirby, and it's like, really?
He has no real reason to kill Kirby, because he was about to have...
They're hanging out...
Are we just going to spoil it? Because it's going to be hard to talk about.
Yes, spoilers. I don't give a shit.
It's Rory Culkin. Rory Culkin with the really long black hair. He's one of the cinema club guys. He's one of the killers.
But, like, okay, so here's my problem, though. Like, they're back at Kirby's house, apparently. Kirby's, like, this girl... She's played by the same girl who did,
It's Claire from Heroes.
Claire from Heroes.
They have this little subplot going on. It's very minor. Rory Culkin's character has a crush on Hayden Panettiere.
Right.
Who wouldn't? Not me, really. I don't like her haircut in this movie. She kind of looks a little bit like a lesbian.
I think every single time she acts, she's acting the same. I don't think she has much range, personally, but... Well, that's just me. Anyway,
whatever. Her character didn't have enough development to get range.
So they're just sitting there after a murder, all getting sloshed on alcohol for some reason.
They just went to a party where somebody got attacked, and now they're back home underage drinking.
Right. So anyway, they're talking about horror movies. Apparently, she's a horror buff, which I really didn't believe. And I didn't buy it. Yeah, I didn't buy it. And obviously he is too. And they're sitting there, and she just turns to him and she goes, you know, now would be a good time to make a move or whatever, and they share a kiss, and I was like, oh, okay, so...
Yeah. But then
he kills her.
Then he kills her, yeah,
and he's
later on.
And he's like, 4 years and you never noticed me, and now you do? And I was like,
it's like, but she was gonna.
What are you doing?
She was gonna.
You finally got it, and you're throwing it away because of some stupid bullshit.
Yeah, he was gonna get some. It was pretty obvious. I mean, the asshole boyfriend comes in and completely cockblocks the shit out of him, and that was when the part where I was like, oh, that guy must be the killer. I'd kill somebody after being blocked like that.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And then he actually was, and I was shocked. But no, he was gonna get some, especially if she had survivor's guilt, probably.
Yeah. Anyway, so that was kind of annoying. Another thing that really was kind of annoying was Gail. Her character was like, obviously she was a writer. Now she's married to Dewey.
Yeah,
and
not a lot to write about in a small town.
Right, exactly. But at one point, since she's not a writer anymore, she wants in on this whole murder thing, and her husband's like, no, you can't because you're not who you were, and
yeah, something like that.
Something like that, yeah, like, now you have no connections, and so she's leaving, like, a bookstore, and she gets stopped by the publicist, and the publicist is like, I just love you, you're like my idol or something, and she goes, and, oh, what'd she say, like, oh, I'm really good at my job, or something, like, I'm damn good at my job, and I
I'm the best there is at what I do.
I turned to him, and I was like, that's because I quit, because I'm so good, I needed to stop myself. Like, what the fuck?
She hasn't done anything in like 10 years.
I know, but anyway. So that was kind of stupid. Her whole character was just really, really pointless. The only reason she was there was so they could set up that little coincidental, how does she know I have a stab wound thing at the end.
Yeah, they didn't do enough with Courtney Cox's character. And she was really instrumental in the first Scream movies.
I like when she walks up, like you said, walks up to the two cinema guys and she's like, you want to help catch a killer?
Yeah, she has the police aren't letting her get involved. Dewey won't let her get involved because they're married, and the deputy won't let her get involved because she's trying to steal her husband. Right. Yeah, David Arquette now. That's a catch. So she goes up to the two cinema club guys, and she tries to get them to help her solve this mystery. And she's like, is she dragging two high school kids into this ongoing murder investigation? What a bitch!
No, I was gonna, I was like, why, I think you're trying to seduce us.
Yeah. It's like, those are two cinema club guys. I'm surprised they didn't drop, why, Miss Withers, are you trying to seduce me?
I was looking for a thing. Anyway, everything else was just kind of cut and paste. Like,
yeah. I thought
Dewey was his, who's that black guy who played the cop?
Anthony Anderson.
He's in every bad movie. Like, if they need somebody to fill a spot in a...
It's not that bad a movie.
No,
it could have been worse.
No, I like the movie. I am not against seeing it, but I'm just saying, like, he's in every terrible sequel. Like, every time they make a sequel, he's always in it somewhere. And,
well, Transformers, he was in the first terrible movie.
Yeah, okay, fine.
But yeah, Anthony Anderson and one of the guys from the OC from way back are the two cops in this movie.
Yeah,
and they're terrible. I mean, I've seen bad small town cops before in movies, and these guys are just...
They're so inept.
Awful.
They're so inept. Like, they're sitting outside the house of these two girls that they're trying to protect, and I assume they're trying to protect both of them because the cops have information on the neighbor being involved too, who was a cousin.
Yes.
And she's getting like brutally murdered in her house. Yeah. And Courtney Cox, no, not Courtney.
Sidney Prescott.
Sidney Prescott runs down the stairs, runs across to the yard, runs up to the other door, kicks the door in, gets into a fight with the Ghostface guy, and then like after she's already been attacked and the other girl has been sliced in the arm, then the two cops come in and go, "What's going on?" I'm like, "Where the fuck were you?" Yeah. And see, they explain it away by saying like, I saw him and we went to chase after him. And I'm like, yeah, but after you couldn't find him after 5 minutes, I'd gotten back to your goddamn post.
Yeah.
Where you're supposed to be.
Yeah.
Although that does make sense later, given the fact that there's technically two killers.
Well, I figured there would be two.
Right, because there was 2 and 3, wasn't there? Two killers and...
There's been 2 since 1.
Okay.
There's always 2.
It's been like 10 years since I've seen Scream 3 or any of them really. But so I'm a little
little
spaced out.
Yeah,
but anyway,
cool.
so Yeah, but I still, if you can't find the guy in like 10 minutes, I would have gone back to my post, or at least sent one of the guys back. And they end up getting killed outside their police car, and then, like, they're never spoken of again.
Yeah.
They're like, where are my deputies? Why, they're dead 2 blocks away.
Yeah.
And that's it. Nobody goes, oh, shit.
Oh, damn.
Oh, no.
Not Anthony Anderson.
Not the guy from the OC. Yeah. They're just like, oh, really? Well, that's a shame. Anyway, my wife's stabbed in the hospital. I'll be right back with that.
The death scene with those two is hilarious, too. The cops. This one guy just comes back from patrol, and Anthony Anderson does the thing where he looks like he's dead, but then he's faking the guy out and doing the jump scare thing. It's like, seriously? Yeah. You're expecting a guy to come and do this crap. Don't be pulling shenanigans on them. And then the guy just runs up from behind him from like 50 feet, stabs the guy who's outside the car in the back, and Anthony Anderson's like, whoa, dude, what's going on here? It's like, oh, no, he's running from right behind you. You were looking in his direction. But anyway, so he drops the white guy, and then Anthony Anderson's leaning out of his car, stabs him. He's like right in the skull.
No, but I love the way he sticks his head out. Like,
yeah, it's
what?
Like, and then hey there, what's that? And then just stab right through his skull. Buries it to the hilt like a lemon meringue pie. Because, you know, skulls are made of really soft cartilage, and they can't take any kind of impact, or else you'll die.
They're squishy.
And then he gets out of the car and just stumbles around for like 2 minutes.
20 seconds.
20 seconds before
he does some like fake air punches while the killer's behind him just going.
Yeah. It's like, I already separated your brain hemispheres. You're going down. It's like, I've won this battle of wits.
Anyway, alright. The other thing I didn't like about... I mean, so there were cheesy moments like that. Like, you could laugh at them. But by far the funniest moment was the very end, well, near the end, when you find out that Jill's the other killer.
Yeah, you find out Sydney's cousin Jill is the killer.
And she's like explaining her whole plot to Sydney, and she's like, "Oh, I'm gonna tie it to this guy, and then I'm gonna pretend that." And then she kills the guy from the cinema club. She kills
Rory Culkin because, you know, that's how these movies go.
Right.
One of them always betrays the other one.
So anyway, then she's like. So then she stabs Sydney. Sydney falls over, presumably dead.
Yeah, it looks like she kills her for a second. It looks like she's going to get away with it.
She has a gun, and she shoots everybody else, and then she's like, I have to make it... She kind of looks around the room, and she's like, I have to make it look like I was attacked. Yeah. So she puts a knife to her chest, runs into a wall, then she pulls a knife out, jumps into
she goes running head first into a wall in a glass picture.
And then she does like a pile, like a back dive onto a glass table, and then she kind of like stumbles over and falls next to Sydney, and I was like, I turned to him and I was like, if they grab hands and hold hands, that's too much.
Yeah. Yeah, her entire reason for doing all of these things is like she's jealous or something of all the attention Sydney has been getting for all these years.
Yeah.
It's like her friends all got murdered. That's not a good way to get attention. It's like, in this modern age, you don't have to do shit to get famous. You just have to be there.
Like, they were videotaping the two people that were the killers. Were videotaping the entire thing. Like, just like the guy from the cinema club had the little head cam and was streaming everything. Which, by the way, again, I don't understand how the battery life lasts for the entire frickin' movie. But, like, whatever. So they're streaming all the murders. So they're going to make this movie, and it's going to be real, and it's going to be the best. What do they call it? Stab.
It's going to be the best stab yet, at least better than the last 4.
Yeah, they have all these pretend movies in the universe that are based off the first 3 Scream movies called Stab, and there's like apparently 7 of them, which I think is kind of funny. And they reference, by the way, like a whole host of horror movies in this thing.
Yeah.
Like Saw, Amityville Horror, Stranger Calls. All of these other ones. And it's just like, stop reminding me of better horror movies.
Yeah.
I don't want to know. Anyway, so anyway, that was kind of stupid. But then they go to the hospital, and she's recovering, and Dewey's there, and she's like, "You are one brave little girl." And she's like, "Is Sydney... I'm so sorry about Sydney," or whatever. And he goes, "Oh, that's okay. She'll recover." And at that point...
It's like, we're not sure yet. She's in ICU, but she might pull through.
She might not remember, though.
She might not remember anything, though. And at that point, she completely loses her grip on any kind of plan she might have had.
She rips off all of the leads that she's connected to, which, by the way, would have called somebody.
Yeah, she rips off every cable she's connected to, and I'm pretty sure that would have called at least a nurse in, or a janitor.
So she she goes over to Sydney's room, and she's, like, starting to choke or whatever, and they get into this huge fight, and I was like, this would have been just easier had you shot her.
Yeah.
Like, she stabbed her quite a few times, but it's just like...
No one ever double taps in these movies.
I love the scene where the two girls are watching Shaun of the Dead.
Yeah.
And it's just like, really? Shaun of the Dead? Alright, well, whatever. I love Shaun of the Dead, but it just was kind of weird to go, really? Shaun of the Dead?
British comedy.
You think they would have been watching Stab or something? I mean...
Oh, they've watched those movies so much throughout the rest of them. I know,
but I'm just saying, like, within the universe. So, yeah, so then she goes into the room, and they get into this huge fight, and then... She's like, "I will kill you," and I'm like, how exactly does she expect to walk away from this?
I know. She's completely abandoned her plan. She starts offing cops, reporters.
She shoots the deputy.
She shoots everybody.
Yep.
There's no way to pass this off. You're not going to just say Sidney Prescott, the sheriff, the deputy, and the reporter all just decide to go crazy and kill each other.
Yeah,
You're not pulling this off anymore.
You can't talk about... this movie. Oh, that was another thing. They kept calling it... they kept making fun of the movie as being a reboot. Like, a bunch of fourth wall breaks, which were, I think, kind of well-placed and actually kind of funny. Because, like we said, the whole movie's kind of just got this kind of humor to it. And, I thought it was pretty well put together. Yeah, I didn't hate it. I mean...
Yeah, I enjoyed watching it. It was fun.
I love going to horror movies in the theaters because of this reason. You get the reaction of everyone around you, and the theater wasn't really that packed.
It was like 60%.
Yeah, it was like, 50, 60%. But the best part was there was this guy sitting in the row behind us that was freaking the hell out. And, was kicking the seat. Like, every time there was a jump scare, he would, wrap the seat really quick with his foot or whatever.
Somehow he's never seen a horror movie in his life.
And you really never... Did you not expect the killer to, Because they always do the thing where the girl's like, "No one's here," and then he comes up and goes, "Wham!" And it's just like, I saw that coming. And then... But the guy, freaked out and kicked the seat or whatever. And I'm like, are you serious? I'd believe it more when I went to see Paranormal Activity, the first one.
Yeah.
I could believe that from a lot of people because the mood that movie set was so rich and so well done that, I was a little freaked out, but...
Yeah.
But it's a Scream movie, for God's sake. Yeah. Anyway. So to wrap up, spoilers.
Yeah.
And, I'd say give it a watch. I mean, it's a fun movie.
I mean, if you're still watching this review and you haven't seen it already, but you'd still like to, even though we've blown everything away.
There's
no surprises anymore.
Yeah.
Oh, so if we're just going to spoil everything, Amy Teagarden gets killed right off the bat in the first 10 minutes, which I think would be an awesome season premiere to Friday Night Lights.
Well, I did was she the one that got crushed by the garage door?
Yeah.
Right. See, when she went down the stairs, I was like, oh, here they go again with the stupid getting caught in the one room with no way out. But then she hits the garage door opener, and I was like, oh!
That's smart.
Hey!
But then he kneecaps her.
Yeah. But, I mean, at least she tried to get out of the house. That's what I hate about all these kind of horror movies is they run upstairs, they run downstairs, and they get caught in this room with no windows or whatever, and there's no way out. Oh, that was another thing. So, they're in... Sydney and Jill are in the room, and they're being chased by the murderer, and they're in the room, and she she opens the window and she's like, "We can jump out." Jill says, "We can jump out," and Sydney looks down and goes, "It's 2 floors. We can't do it." Yeah, it's 2 stories.
Oh my god, that's 2 stories.
But like 5 seconds later, she leads him out of the roof and kind of falls off, and she's grabbing onto the gutter, and she lets go and falls to the floor.
She's completely no
and
worse
she's
for
okay,
wear.
and it's just like, why didn't you jump before? Like,
I mean, even tuck and roll, woman.
3 stories,
Come
I'd start
on.
to buy it, but then again, like, really, you're only falling 1 story.
Yeah.
You're not falling 2 stories. When she said 2 stories, I thought they were 3 stories up.
Yeah.
But then I thought, no, 'cause the house on the outside was
no
only
one has 3-story houses anymore.
Right, exactly. So she falls off, and I'm like, you're fine.
Yeah.
I'm like, what the hell was that? So, yeah. Anyway, yeah, good movie. I enjoyed it.
If they actually make some sequels, I will probably go see those too.
Yeah, it wasn't half bad. I think that was the first Scream movie I've seen in theaters, because usually I wait for them to come out on DVD.
Well, yeah, I was like 8 when the first Scream movie
Yeah.
came out, so I wouldn't have been able to go see that.
Right.
Okay.
But yeah, so altogether, not bad. I'd give it 2.5, 3 stars out of 4.
Yeah.
2.5. 2.5.
Yeah, 2.5.
It was decent. It was a lot. It was fun. I wouldn't buy it or anything when it comes out, but I mean, if you can see it,
pick up all 4 Scream movies now.
Yeah, they're gonna do some kind of box set. You just know they are. But you know, I mean, go see it with people, because that's what makes this movie fun.
Do not go see this movie alone.
Yeah, go see it with a group of people. Go see it in the theater, because that's what makes horror movies fun. If you try to download it or rent it, it's not going to be the same, and you're going to think it sucks. But the movie theater going experience really enhances the fun that movie is capable of. But anyway, so yeah, thanks for watching. This has been Marauder and Sandalphan, and we'll catch you guys later.